I have been checking Meister Eckhart and other stuff. Very interesting. You don't need to know into detail, but number one is about the ego and how to go transcend. So that's very important. But the other part that I found could be interesting for you is this guy, Ramana Maharshi. He has some video talking about his state of enlightenment, if you want to call that. And if you believe it or not, but I can relate to that. It's the same state of samadhi, and I think he had some other discussion on that. But the deep state of samadhi that he's into. But his life is very peaceful without connection to the society as much. So here's the thing. We may get to this samadhi state and deepen it. Whatever the state, if you can have calm and quiet mind, facing any threat, problems, and beyond ego, beyond the mind constraint, that's the name of the game. And you find the peace and the normal condition. But here's the catch. I don't know if that's the right word. When your life is peaceful and separate from the society, you have more chance to deepen your samadhi state as much as in vipassana for 10 days into the mountain, whatever. But regular people, most people may not have that determination or dedication, but you may still find the semi-state of samadhi. And to me, that would cover, 50%, 80% of the typical way of living. But there's no typical for each individual. His case may be going here or there. So the question, as in the case of myself looking at the mirror, so to speak, this Trump and Elon issue popping up has disturbed me quite a bit. But after a few days, I resolved, it takes time. But you have to have this joriki, that steady power to connect to the root. So this took 2-3 days, or maybe a little bit more. For other people, maybe shorter or longer, or very much disturbed, especially if you are in the middle of something and your paycheck is cut off, or all that stuff that happens. So obviously, not obvious, but we have to be prepared in a way. And that's also the same as having a samadhi state, so that you know what's important, what can come, and how to prepare using your brain or mind. But everything is impermanent, so things happen. That's the nature of our life as human. So on one extreme, maybe Ramana Maharshi in India, he stayed in quiet, and maybe in other cases I can think about, but without, referring to other people. Just one example. If you want to use it as an extreme case, that you are so much in peace with the light, with the divine, or with the way of nature. And I feel I can come to that, but the bodhisattva goes back to the world to see what they can contribute. So people's pain become my pain, and that's one of the expressions from Vimalkirti Sutra. And the Mahayana thinking is not just be away from the society, but come back. Even if you go to this nirvanic state, it's boring to stay there. You have work to do in the society. So that's the Vimalkirti's idea of people suffer, therefore I suffer. I can relate to that. That's the compassion, coming up with the compassion by knowing what is exactly going on. So one extreme is here, and there's some leeway. where you may fit. And depending upon your situation, this may fluctuate. The other extreme is totally in the chaos, and I don't know if this is a good example, but the stock market and selling and buying and, all the transaction, and they have so much stress and they may have a heart disease and all that stuff happen. I don't know about the situation in the war. I haven't been there. But in the organization I have experienced, and also relationships, there are certain waves going up and down. So you want to ride the wave instead of sucked into the deep current. So the question is, one extreme is this Ramana Maharshi. The other extreme, let's say, is New York Stock Exchange case or the war, and all the impermanence hit you, your relationship end or something like that. So we have this whole spectrum as human, and there may be a distribution of people, like a normal distribution, small percentage here, major percentage in the center part, that's the 6 sigma, 3 sigma, whatever the sigma normal distribution. And we may move around. That's the way I see as the middle way. So that's the realization. And I just wanted to share that notion so that you don't expect too much. Be realistic. Always find the state where you are, how you are dealing with, and stay with it. Nothing lasts forever. Impermanence, even the worst of the worst, may not last. So we are to train this shift of consciousness along with the environmental change outside or even inside. You may have a health issue and all of that. So that's the nature, the whole nature of the human being. And how to prepare? Nobody can be with you to explain, like a mirror pointing you. So each of us need to have the mirror. That's the mirror mind, the wisdom of having a mirror mind, which is basically the same as being in the state of samadhi. When the mind is calm and quiet, you see things as they are. Call it as it isness. And if you go with that as it isness, with the wave of what is happening, you're riding the wave of nature, so to speak. You're not fighting against the current and ups and downs. And stay quiet. Then you find, not as you wish to find in short time, because that's ego. Your mind is moving, but you let the mind stop and just stay. I had few mails and interruption happened, and my plate was a little cluttered. So have a calm and quiet mind. Be sincere and truthful as the core base. That's what I say to myself, and put me into the samadhi state. May take time, and the time it takes to be calm and quiet gets shrunk. And then it goes back again, because the certain accidental thing can catch you. But over time, going through this maneuvering without you doing it, not your ego doing it, but let the nature to have that ability to process, as if you cut the finger, it heals. It may be more damaging and you may lose the finger, but then it's just that way, as it is. Then you learn how to deal with it. As nature has shown us, the tree branches broken, and they find the other branch to cover up. No regret, but do your best and prepare and use your brain. But always, or at least try to listen to your heart with samadhi state. to connect to the core of who you are. That is the determination to be, and that's what we need to do. Dedicating ourselves to be aligned with the way of nature, way of the universe, that is making us to be alive, and the healing power comes. But if we are caught up in the mind and not connected to the heart, I don't know what to say. It's not utilizing the whole of who you are, but just ego or confined state. But we have a way, we have a route. We have to keep going through this experience, confirm. It's a process control that I shared in one of the videos, that we have to find the way to live a life and have fun in the process.